10:28 in the East. Streaming live on Pride48.com. It's time for The Mix. My name is Daniel Brewer. I do not do this show alone. I do it with my best friend, Adam Burns. Adam, how are you this evening?
Oh, I'm so I was muted. I'm flustered because I realized I wasn't streaming on Pride48.com. And so I was trying to pull it up.
I'm excellent. Thank you for asking. We took a couple of weeks off for some holiday activities that we'll talk about. And then we're only here. I think this is our last show of the year. I
don't know. We can talk about it. I texted you. It's up to you because
you know what? We have Christmas parties and stuff and I know that they were planned and I don't know which ones were which, but I do recall looking at the calendar and going, no, I think the rest of December is out. And it's like, so I'm sorry. This will be it. This will be the final show of 2023. 2023, Adam, was it a good year for you overall? Was 2023 a good year?
I guess. I mean, how long has it been?
About a year since 2022.
How long has it been since the pandemic? And we were all like, Oh,
yeah, that would have been in 2020. So, right at the, quite honestly, what?
It started in 2020, right?
Yeah, March of 2020. Yeah, March of 2020 was around when everybody went home. Yeah. There's no audio on the YouTube, by the way, Adam.
Lovely.
Just wanted to let you know that.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So, not that, it's fine. It's fine.
They don't need to hear us on YouTube. We
have a lot of lip reader fans that like to watch the video and lip read. I'm wondering, should I even record?
Are you not recording?
I was talking about my video.
Oh, your video.
Yeah, because you didn't even use my video last time.
I didn't. I want to figure out how to use it, but I did not.
But does it? I mean, because I felt like the video looked fine on.
It was
the podcast.
The reason that I wanted you to record is because the Zoom sometimes is laggy, and so your lips will not always be with the words.
No, I got it.
Which bothers me.
Got it.
The video quality looks okay, but I have a problem. It's not finding. Oh, hold on. Oh, there it is. There it is.
I was just talking in pre-show. I was just talking to the chat room, and I was saying, as content creators, really the first 6 minutes of the show are the most important, because if you can't convince people like within the first few minutes to stick around, they're not going to stick around. And what the fuck are we doing? And we're basically sitting here. How many minutes into the show are we now? Almost 6 minutes into the show, and we're good.
We're good. Well, we can start. You want to start over? You want to start over? We can.
No, I don't. I want to keep going. I want to keep going. Anyway. Last show of 2023, So.
We'll miss you all. We will miss you all greatly until 2024.
Yeah.
Have a happy new year.
Was 2023 good year? Bad year? Good year? It was a good year for me.
I was trying to think, I guess. I mean, we took the only memorable things that stick in my mind is the traveling that Mark and I did, and we did the Northeast, Maine, and what have you.
Yeah.
And that was fun. And then we did Iceland, that is now, I don't know whatever happened about that Icelandic volcanic eruption thing.
I honestly was not asking for your itinerary of 2020. Overall, was it good or bad?
But I'm trying to remember, was it good? Now, we did have the Sydney health scare, and
I did not prep for a New Year's show. Like, I didn't dig up my 10 favorite moments of 2023 or anything like that. Anyway, it's not important, Adam. What is important is one of the reasons that we won't be able to record for the rest of December is I'm going to be at your house next week, or am I?
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, I've talked about it on Geeky Gay, but you and I haven't chatted about it, and I only talked to you on the show, so I wanted to.
It's true. It's
read
true.
up.
By the way, you forgot to post your Thursday
I know.
show.
You were like,
and I knew that Mark had COVID, and then I was like, my mind goes to dark places. I'm just like, oh my God, what if something happened to Sydney and they had to run? And it's like, that's why he didn't post his Thursday show. And it's like, oh my gosh. And so then I text you, I'm just like, is everything okay? And your answer was just, huh?
Yeah, because I was like, what? Why is he asking me if everything is okay? Like we never. Anyway, yes, Mark got COVID on. Yes. Well, he was not feeling well last week,
right?
But he took a COVID test or a couple of COVID tests, and he was negative, and so he thought, okay, I've just got a cold. Well, we went to Thanksgiving with my entire family. We went to a Mariah Carey concert.
Yeah.
Who knows how many people Mark infected, But anyway, then Monday he's like, you know what? I'm still not feeling well. And it's been a week. And he's like, I never stay sick this long. And so he started looking at the COVID test. Now, I don't know if this is related because he since looked at the CDC website and they've extended the shelf life of those tests.
Yeah.
But he realized he had used an expired test.
Oh.
But the thing is, the CDC said all tests now can go 9 months longer than what actually says on the box.
Usually most expiration dates on drugs, this is this comes from my brother who's a pharmacist. Most expiration date on drugs are because if the drugs are not stored properly, they will degrade and then will be worthless. But if they're stored in air-conditioned places, like if they're stored out of direct sunlight and in air-conditioned, cool, damp, cool, dry places, it doesn't go to, the chemicals aren't going to break down. The things that would break down the chemicals are going to be sunlight and, like temperature changes and stuff like that. So I feel like, anyway.
I mean, they were in our,
I'll shut up.
Whatever. So I was at work Monday and he texts me and he says, by the way, I just tested positive for COVID.
Right.
I immediately backed up from my, my coworker was sitting next to me. I'm like, I'm going to go. I'm trying to not breathe on him. I'm like, I'm going to go. Cause I would, anyway, but,
did you say your friend tested positive?
No, I said my partner. We are at the stage at work where now I refer to him as my partner. But anyway, I'm not you, Daniel. I actually refer to Marcus. So, Mark didn't want to do the whole quarantining from each other thing. He's like, we've already been together. I was sick last. He's like, we've been together for a week. Traveling in the car, sleeping in the bed, kissing each other, all this kind of stuff. He's like, there's no point in us, quarantining in separate rooms or whatever. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. But I've been testing every day. I tested every day this week.
It is not. It's entirely possible that your immune system, was able to take care of that, and his wasn't. He got sick. Right?
It's Kathy Marshall says it's a good way to use it. We had a stack of tests. We still have a stack of tests.
You're single-handedly keeping them in business.
No, I mean, we got 2 or 3. For some reason, we got multiple government ones because I think I signed up for it and he did. And then we had also bought a bunch.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I've been negative every single time. I even took 2 tests today. Wow. I don't know why, but I'm just getting paranoid because you're coming in 8 days.
8 days.
And the CDC website says from the time that you test positive, you need to quarantine for 5 days. Yeah. And then you need to wear a mask when you're around other people for another 5 days.
Right. So, my point is, but if you don't test positive, then, and you continue not to test positive, then you'll be fine because that will be well after the 10 days after Mark tested positive. And,
Well, I have a
And
runny nose tonight, and so
Okay.
now,
Okay.
and so now I'm like
saying,
freaked out.
We'll figure it out. It's like if for whatever, the good news is we're not flying up there just to see you. Like we
No,
are
I know.
going up there with that. So what I'm saying is although it would really suck that we wouldn't get to see you, it's fine. We can fly up and see you another time or meet in a mutual place or something like that.
When is that autism run?
That's in January. First weekend in January.
Oh, the first weekend in January. I was thinking about flying down to Florida to see you and Zach because I got permission from Mark to come by myself. And but I was thinking, I could make it for the run. That's the thing. We never go see Daniel and Zach until they're doing a run, and then
that's right.
And then we have to go to Epcot and go to that boring ass America.
Hey,
whatever.
It's the American adventure. It's the story of America, Adam.
And anyway, so I don't know. So hopefully I continue to test negative. I do. You know what? Those swabs. It is just a swab, Daniel, but it hurts.
Maybe that's why
for whatever reason,
because you agitated your nose twice today with swabs. That's probably
it's not.
why your
I can
nose
tell
is
the
running.
difference between. But I was swabbing so hard that I had some blood on the
Oh my
Q-tip.
God.
When I pulled it out, I'm like, oh, that's a little pink.
Your nose isn't running. Your nose is bleeding. It's just.
I mean, I wanted to make sure. That I got skin cells and mucus and anything else that I could possibly get because I'm trying. If I'm going to test positive, I want to quickly test positive so I can quarantine. Because also we've got a Christmas thing on Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. You got your Christmas concert. I'll tell you one thing we were going to do, and then we just got sidetracked and never did it, and now it's too late. Is I know that the parties that you and Mark go to have like step and repeats and stuff for photo ops and whatnot. So I was actually going to get a step and repeat made for our Christmas trip to put up in your house so we could all do a selfie in front of the step and repeat.
Did you want to do a theme, like a certain color that we all have to wear, or because that's another?
Well, it doesn't matter because I'm not gonna do it now.
That's true.
It's just like,
that's true.
I was gonna have a couple of random brand sponsors on it, and then just like Daniel and Zach's party, Christmas trip, and the year or whatever.
So anyway, I mean, who knows? We'll
it's
figure it out.
Interesting, Adam, that you were talking about the autism run because as longtime listeners of this show know, I am running a 10K for Autism Speaks in January at the Run Disney Marathon Weekend. I had to remember which weekend that was. The Marathon Weekend. And many thousands of people listen to this show each and every week because they are highly invested in how I'm doing training for all of my runs. And, I can't help it. I'm just so damn inspiring. But here's the thing, Adam. I've kind of been at this weird kind of plateau for a couple of weeks now, and it's starting to concern me a little bit. I've been at 3 minutes 20 running and a minute walking, but I haven't been able to actually do all my intervals of it. Like sometimes after like a couple of 3 minute 20 running, minute walking intervals, I'll be like, no, I can't run another 3 minutes. It's like I need to take another minute of walking or something. So I haven't fully gotten the interval down to where I can do it. This past Sunday was my long running day. And so I went out and did a 10K, because I'm training for the 10K and it was time for me to run. Anyway, the point is you alternate weeks of long run, short runs. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, so the next day though, Monday, it was like someone like shoved, pins, like big spikes in the back of my calves. It hurt. When I was walking, it hurt. It would eventually let up and I could walk, but it's like after sitting still for any amount of time and standing up, it was like, oh dear God, it's like my calves were just like rebelling. And so I didn't run this week, Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday of this week because my calves were still hurting me. So I didn't get back out to running until today. And still not able to get the 3:20 minute successfully.
Well,
in all of my intervals.
I feel like you'll be fine because a lot of people just fast walk those things anyway. So it's not like you're going to do better.
Yeah, no.
You're going to do better, except Zach. He's going to have a better time than you, as we know.
Of course he will. Of course he will.
As what happened last time. But, you won't be the last person to finish.
Oh, no, I'm not worried about that at all. As you know, my actual goal is just to one day be able to run a 5K, not to do interval running or whatever. One day be able to, go. So, someone says go, and then 3.1 miles later, I go, okay, I'm done. That's the ultimate goal. But I have to get there. And I've had, it's been a crazy little journey over 2023, right? It's like, if you remember, during the late summer, I was up to 5 minutes of running and 1 minute of walking, but it turns out that was all on a fucking treadmill, which is a lying piece of lying.
It's not a lie. It's
liarness.
I feel like it's because, like I've said this a million times, but I feel like it's because people cannot maintain a steady pace when they're on their own. And also, when you're running outside, there are changes in elevation and stuff that happen.
Yeah.
And on a treadmill, it's just a constant. I mean, you can raise it up and down, but
here's the thing, Adam. The races that I run all happen outside. So
and you have that Mount Epcot that you've got to. Now, is the Autism Speaks? I've asked you this before, but I don't remember. I have a very bad memory, as we all know.
Yes, I know you do. Yes.
And is it Disney?
Yeah.
It is Disney. Okay.
Yes.
You probably said that like 5 minutes ago when you started this, and I probably didn't remember that as well.
It is part of the Walt Disney World marathon weekend. So it's the first weekend in January. So it's the Walt Disney World 2024 marathon weekend. However, that weekend consists of 4 different races, right? There's a 5K on Thursday. There's a 10K, which is what we were running on Friday. There's a half marathon on Saturday and a full marathon on Sunday. So there's actually 4 races for the entire weekend. We're just running the one. We're just running the 10K, and that's our fundraiser for Autism Speaks. I thought you were going to ask me if we were going to run through Epcot or not. It's like,
well, I said, are you going through to Mount Epcot or whatever?
Yeah, I don't know. They haven't posted the maps yet. They don't typically post the routes that you're going to run until way closer to the race. Like we wouldn't get those until probably Christmas or so. So, but they kind of all do. I mean, guaranteed you're running through a theme park. How much of that theme park you're running through is what's up for grabs. So like this last 10K that we ran through both Epcot and Hollywood Studios, but we were in Hollywood Studios for like 30 seconds. It was like we just kind of clipped it. It's like I feel like we just went there to say that we did. Most of the race we did was on the World Drive out on the pavement. So.
They can't announce the route too early because who knows what Bob Iger is going to sell between now and the race. So something may not exist. Epcot may be like no longer Disney. It may be like Six Flags over Epcot or something. You know,
as a Disney stockholder, I do feel reasonably qualified to tell you that the one area of the company that consistently earns money, like the one area of the company right now that is carrying the fledgling movie productions right now, is the theme parks. It's like the theme parks generate a good, like, I think 33% of their profit comes from the theme parks, or maybe it's 26. It's somewhere between 26 and 33% of their profits.
Well, I bet you're breathing a sigh of relief that Disney podcaster career that you got going.
That's right.
Not going anywhere. You're
That's
good.
Right.
You chose chose the right thing to focus on, the theme parks, not the movies, and not ABC or ESPN. No, the theme parks.
That's all sinking ship. That's all crap. Here's the thing, Adam, is I do want to talk about that, but let me finish my running update. So I do have in my training schedule, my next long run is not this weekend, but next weekend when I'm going to be up visiting Zach's relatives and you. So as it turns out, I'm going to actually have to run my 10K on a treadmill when we get to the hotel on Sunday after we leave your Christmas performance, and then we have lunch with his dad, and then we go to the hotel in St. Louis. So
you're going to be jetting
like
it. You're going to be
Sunday
at my performance and then have to jet away to a lunch.
Well, we have to have lunch, and it's like 3 hours to his dad, but it's like supposed to be like a 3:00 thing. So I think, what did I say? Like the 10:30 or whatever the middle service.
You said the 9:45 service.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So 9:45.
They're an hour long, so you'll be done by 10:45, right. 11 at the latest.
Right. But I mean, you guys play, and then he does, like, we can bail on the sermon, right? You don't play after the sermon, do you?
It's mostly a concert for that one. There is a tiny little sermon, but it's like 5 minutes.
And where's that? Where's that?
At the very end.
Oh, yeah. See, we can bail. It's like as soon as
but
you guys
there's like
done,
one song after that. But I mean, it's fine.
Anyway, we'll figure it out. But yeah, it's just weird.
I won't make
so
you stay
weird.
for the roll call or whatever they call it. The altar call. What is it?
Yeah, the altar call. Anyway, that is my running. So I do have a Christmas 5K that I'm running 2 weekends from now, the December 16th. I'm running a Christmas 5K, and then this 10K is coming right up in January. The big challenge for next year is going to be the April race, because in that race I'm running the 5K, the 10K, and a 10 miler. I'm doing all 3 races back to back. So it's like I'm running a 5K on Friday, a 10K on Saturday, and a 10 miler on Sunday. So
is Zach doing all 3 of those with you as well?
No, Zach's just doing the 10K.
Oh, okay.
So,
well,
you know what? It was a Stitch medal, and I wanted that Stitch medal. So,
there you go.
Anyway, that's my running update, Adam. I also just wanted to give a real quick update. We did get our counters replaced in the kitchen. We now have new granite countertops, and they're lovely. As big fat.
You didn't post any photos of those in level 13. That would have been a perfect thing to post photos of.
Yeah.
I shared photos of our Christmas decorations that we did.
You did. I saw that. Yeah.
We're still working on it. We still have boxes in the floor, but we're almost done. But yeah.
Yeah, you're sharing those pictures, and you were also sharing the logo work for the beginning of the show that you were working on.
Yeah, I did the changes. I did incorporate your changes, but apparently I need to pay for Nitro because I
downloaded it and played it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did those changes, were those changes what you had everything you had hoped and dreamed?
I mean, yeah, you're getting there. I like it. I'm kind of confused by the motion of for the audio listeners who have no idea what we're talking about. At the beginning of the show, when we play the theme song, we have in all honesty, the two of us are just staring at each other, waiting for the cue to come in for me to talk. And so in order for the video version of this podcast not to just have the two of us just staring out into, stupidity, we have a little logo that flies in, and Adam didn't care for mine. So now he's done his, but yours does a really weird kind of swoop. It's like, instead of it just kind of like flying into the center, it kind of like comes in and then slides back. I'm just like, wait, why are you sliding back from
I was copying your swoop, and then I just added a little backup. Just because. What did you think about the rotation? I really like the rotation.
I want more rotation. So I feel like it should rotate right as it's in the top, and when it's in the topmost part of the frame coming in, it should rotate and then come in flat, and then once it hits, then rotate again.
I can try it, but I think that would be a lot of rotation. But
I know.
I can try.
So it's immediate. It's immediate in your face, like these rotations that are happening right here that you don't notice, and then you're like, "Wait, what's that?" See, it's all about grabbing them out of the first in the first few minutes, just grabbing them, and
and also the gay doesn't show up until after the rotation. I don't know if you noticed that.
I did notice that. Yeah,
you know that I pull the emphasis off of that, and it just shows up at the end.
It's like a cheap Vegas magician, right? It's just like here's a gay. It's
Speaking
just like gay.
Speaking of cheap Vegas magicians,
It's the mix, Adam. It's the mix, but it's gay.
Yeah. We went to were you done? By the way, were you done with your kitchen counter report, or did you have more to say about your kitchen counters?
I'll post some pictures, and I just didn't even think about.
No, I'm continuing, and I didn't want to get accused of like cutting off your story. Okay.
No.
This is short. We went to a Mariah. We have talked extensively about my love-hate relationship with Mariah Carey, because she is my favorite artist of all time.
All time.
But I get sad because people get older and they can't sing as well when they get older. And also, I don't like the style, like the music she does now. I like the ones that she did in the 90s and the early 2000s. But I'm still a fan, and I still go. And I do like her Christmas music.
You don't want them to get old, but you don't want them to change.
No, I want, the same Mariah Carey from 1994 or whatever, coming out in her black trench coat looking thing and her curly brown hair singing Emotions. But anyway,
Don't they have video? Don't they have like music videos you could watch?
They do. But you want to
from
see
that
people
time?
live. But anyway, yes, they do. I do that occasionally when I'm walking down memory lane. Look, I'm not here to talk about the Mariah Carey concert. I will say,
okay.
I will say though, she sang well, but you could tell that when it got to the really belty high stuff that Mariah's known for, they were dubbing in recordings of her doing it. Okay. Now, when she was singing live, it sounded good, but I don't think she can sustain some of those harder belty things anymore. I mean, she is like 53, so I mean, whatever. But
yeah, I remember on our way over to Disney the other day listening to this podcast, The Geeky Gay, when you were talking about that. And I'd like to remind you, I'm 56, Adam. It's like, and I'm out running a 10K.
And I don't
so
see you doing belty Mariah Carey notes either at 53.
I'm out running. I'm 56, but I'm out running.
I know. Well,
I'm just saying, it's not like you're frail
your voice,
at 53.
I know, but your voice, as I crack, your voice, you're like a female. Their voice lowers, their range lowers as they get older.
My voice hasn't gone down at all. I mean, since I've been 56, my voice has stayed perfectly equal to this tone.
It's common. I know. It's amazing. It's uncanny. It's common for like singers, especially female singers, who have these really high belty voices. As they get older, they have to start lowering the key of the songs, their same song, because they can't sing them anymore. But what I wanted to bring up is before we ever entered the concert,
yes,
we pass these protesters.
Oh God.
And they were the Christian air quotes, whatever.
Yeah.
And all of their signs were like, fags are going to go to hell and God hates homosexuals and like you need to repent or you're going to burn and like all this kind of stuff. And I was thinking, this isn't an LGBT pep rally that we're going to. I mean, this is a concert.
What? Yeah, it's a Mariah Carey concert.
Yeah, but there are other people who like Mariah Carey other than myself and Ricky.
All them gays like that Mariah Carey. Now, you know what it is? It's like the head pastor of whatever little religious organization of those protesters wanted to go see the concert. So he just staged a protest there so that he could justify spending like money to go to the concert.
I don't know, like 3 weeks before that, we went to a Pink concert very same stadium.
Yeah.
There were no protesters at the Pink concert. She's a female singer, a good female singer that I'm sure has loads of gay fans.
I have been to like BlizzCon and there's been protesters. So, I mean, protesters will go anywhere where that's,
Daniel, are you saying
them.
protesters going to protest?
Protesters going to protest, Adam.
Okay. Well, anyway, and I wanted to, I so bad,
Did
Daniel.
you talk to them?
No, I did not. But I wanted to go up to them.
Yeah.
And say some harsh words.
You should have.
But I didn't.
Oh.
But I didn't. But I want to be like, what the hell? Like, first of all, why not come up with some love, some loving things to write on your placards or whatever you call it? But also, how dare you disrespect a Mariah Carey concert? Sirs, madams, get out of here.
Go away and be gone.
Be gone.
Just like, now that I hear what you wanted to say to them,
I was going to take off my glove and slap them on one side of their face, with my glove.
It's like, well, let me tell you something. Let me just tell you something. How about love?
Yeah. How about
it? Did you think of that?
What about love?
And then you're basically just, hey, I don't think that's the sick burn you think it is.
It's but that or punch him in the face. I did
have, but the Mariah Carey concert does bring up one very important question. At the beginning of the show, you were talking about how Mark, your partner Mark, is, now testing positive for COVID. And you said, who knows how many people he infected?
He infected the entire Mariah Carey concert.
Why do you assume that it wasn't the other way around? Why do you assume that Mark didn't get it from the Mariah Carey concert? Why do you assume? Why is Mark the villain in here?
Because he was sick before we went, but he thought it wasn't COVID because he had tested negative. But he was sick before we went, and I don't think, from Friday to Monday, if that was a brand new COVID infection, I don't think it would have shown up that quickly. So I feel like he had to have already had it.
Yeah, it takes several days for it to show
who
up.
knows?
Theoretically.
I need to look at the news. Mariah Carey herself could have COVID right now, and it could be Mark's fault.
Oh, wow.
The Queen of Christmas could have COVID right at this moment. we weren't close to her. So, not close. I feel like we were way past the 6 foot.
Like closer, like friends. Like, yeah.
Mariah she was on a stage with bodyguards in front of it and stuff.
She asked us to come back.
Yeah. Well, we couldn't. We had to get home for Sydney. So.
Oh, speaking of that little old child, Sydney, let me ask you, were you sick around my precious little puppy? Hi, Adam, it's your mom. I haven't talked to you in a long time. I just wanted to talk about your COVID. Your COVID. Do you not think it's from the jabs you got? Do you not see how that works? You got your jabs and now you got the COVID. And
maybe, but no, the jabs were just to implant the microchips into me so I could be tracked.
Right, to give you COVID so that you'll have to use the government to make you feel better. That's what it is, Adam. They're trying to control your mind.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
They're so goofy nowadays. I can't even parody some of the shit that they do. Not specifically your mom, by the way. I'm sure she's a lovely lady.
Well, it is what it is.
Now I know you don't follow the news per se. But
no, I don't.
Like I watch TikTok a lot. I watch YouTube a lot. I watch do you watch any of that? Have you seen anything about this Weird Al Yankovic deal?
I have not. I do watch YouTube on a daily basis. And I will watch a YouTube short, but I don't do TikTok. So
Weird Al Yankovic is there's this thing on Spotify called Packages, I think. What was it called? It's called you get them on your excuse me, it's called Spotify Wraps, right? So it's like the year-end wrap-up, but it's like a present that you unwrap, and it's from Spotify, and what it is it's like, hey, you listen to this group, 33% more.
Yeah. I got one of those from Pocket Casts.
Yeah. So it's like a little year-end wrap-up thing. But what Spotify does is, like, let's say you really follow, like you listen to the hell out of Weird Al Yankovic songs. Like, he's like the number one person that you listen to. Well, what Spotify has done this year is that they've included little snippets from those artists as part of your Wrapped package, right? So it's like, in other words, you get a message from Weird Al. Like, if Weird Al was the artist that you listen to the most, you would get a video message from Weird Al thanking you, for being a fan or whatever, right? Sounds cool, right? Except listen to this. This is what, if you had Weird Al Yankovic on Spotify Wrapped, this is the video. This is what you would have heard from Weird Al.
Hey, how you doing? Al here. Look, I'll make this really quick. I just want to thank you all for your amazing support. It's my understanding that I had over 80 million streams on Spotify this year. So if I'm doing the math right, that means I earned $12. So, enough to get myself a nice sandwich at a restaurant. So from the bottom of my heart, thanks for your support, and thanks for the sandwich.
All right, so that's what you would have gotten from Weird Al. And you laughed. That's what it was meant. It was meant as a joke.
Are you mad at him, or are you mad at the state of affairs where artists make so little?
No, what I'm saying, but here's the thing. He doesn't make $12. It's like anyone, you can, Spotify pays out between 3/100ths of a cent to 5/100ths of a cent to each stream of your album, depending on your contract, blah, blah, blah. But a median payout for 80 million streams would be $349,600. So it's like, you made $349,600 last year off of Spotify, not $12. So you're kind of like throwing fuel onto this fire. But the more I thought about it, and this is what kind of upset me here, is like, okay, but what are you saying, Weird Al? Are you saying that I shouldn't be listening to you on Spotify? Are you saying that I should buy albums from you instead? I mean, you haven't put out a new album since 2014, but
it is. I feel like
how much, like, if I had bought an album of Weird Al's and I played 80 million times, listened to a song, he would make $0 because I already paid for the CD. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what do you want? It's like, I'm just trying to figure out, are you saying that $349,000 to you is just the same as $12 to me? Is that what you're saying?
I think he was totally in the wrong, but I'll tell you the part that I find not good about it is you shouldn't be saying this stuff to your loyal fans who are supporting you and listening to your work, because the fans have no control over how much you get paid for something.
Right, exactly.
You should be saying that, like, to, ASCAP or whoever it is, or Spotify or whatever. But punishing the fans who listen to you is not cute.
Okay. Now, Kathy Marshall in the chat room is making an excellent point, which is, don't overthink it. He was trying to be funny. And in this case, I think it was just a bad joke that he didn't realize was going to be, you know what I'm saying? It was like, it felt like, if you read the comments on any of these, times that people posted on TikTok, or, that's how I found it today. It was repeated on TikTok. And if you read through those comments, it's everything you would expect, right? A huge contingent from one side saying everyone should get paid for everything they do all the time, and another side going like, no one should ever get paid for anything, you ignorant slut. It's like, it is a huge debate, and it's like, so at the very least, Weird Al basically just like threw a bunch of fuel on this pointless argument that's going on kind of in the background. But at the very worst, he's basically making you feel bad for listening on Spotify. It's like, thanks for listening to my song 80 million times.
But you should have bought 80 million albums instead.
Would it have killed you to buy a t-shirt? It's like, it kind of, I can see it both ways, but I get the fact that he's just an old man that made, a joke that just kind of didn't hit right. But
yeah, that's probably it.
Unlike, by the way, Juliana Margulies, who just, oh my God. I mean, you know who Juliana Margulies is, right?
Yeah, she's the good wife.
More like the bad wife. And let me tell you, because Adam, I was waiting for you to say that so I could sneak in that line right there. I needed a rim shot for that though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, the bad wife. Yeah, she lost her mind. We're going to talk about that in the after show because I didn't put it on the board here. But yeah, Juliana Margulies.
Oh, I'm not. Wait.
So, there you go. Well, finally.
Is that what you needed? It takes me a little while to find stuff.
Yeah, we'll just edit it. We'll just edit it. I'll go. Yeah, I mean, the bad wife. Yeah, excellent.
It's a little bit. I wish I had a longer one though. It's so truncated. That rim shot.
Don't we all wish that we had one that was just a little bit longer?
Yeah.
Anything that matters. I've forgotten where all the buttons are, so hold on a second.
3, 2, 1. Contact is the secret, is the moment when everything happens. Contact is the answer, is the reason that everything happens. Contact. Let's make contact.
Excellent. It is the contact segment of the show. This is a segment of the show where we read your emails and play your voicemails. I don't know if we have any emails this week.
Good thing we're not monetized on YouTube. We have no emails.
Why?
No emails.
Why?
Oh, I think you can't partake in substances on a video.
I'm just vaping.
Right.
It's just vape. It's just,
okay.
I'm not. What do you think is in here? It's just vape. It's just it's just vape
I get it.
stuff.
I get it.
It's just
okay.
I don't know what you think it is. And also, don't you put the contact video over that segment? So like, technically, I wasn't.
Yeah,
on
I
camera
do.
At that
That's
point.
true.
That was kind of
only the live stream. Keep going. Sorry, it just occurred to me. That's all.
No, you know what? By this point, we've grabbed them because we grabbed them the first few minutes of the show,
right.
Adam. So it's like they're ours now. It's like we can do whatever we want. It's really, honestly, we could just, you know what? We could just sit here and stare at each other.
But that's it. Yeah, we could. That's uncomfortable though. Don't you think? I mean, just.
Do we have any emails this weekend?
We do not. We do not. We do have some voicemails though, which
excellent,
we
excellent.
have 6 voicemails.
Excellent. Let's get to, you know what?
Yeah.
Ton of people died this week. Rosalind Carter.
Good week for us.
Henry Kissinger.
Not a good week for them.
Sandra Day O'Connor. I'm thinking, wow, we should have had way more than 6 phone calls.
No.
Maybe I should remind you guys, we do have a contest where when a celebrity dies, all you have to do is call us and report it. 707-61-DEATH. That's our phone number. Just call it, say who you are, and report the celebrity that has died. And you're entered into a drawing that we're going to have at the probably in the middle of next summer sometime. That's typically when we do it, is around Pride time. But I'm just saying, that's all you have to do. It's real. The only caveat, you can't be directly responsible for killing the
That's
celebrity.
correct. Even if you're a millionaire and you win, we will still provide the money to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Happily and without ever making a joke about it ever.
And maybe you can use that to get a sandwich. Something like that.
Yeah, you and Weird Al can have a $12 sandwich. Let's get to our first phone call, shall we, Adam? Hello.
Hello, Adam and Daniel. This is Gary,
Hi, Gary.
in Portland.
Yes.
Rosalind Carter passed away.
Yes.
She was 96. Also, y'all won't count this one, but anyway, my uncle who was 100.
Yeah.
The last uncle, elder uncle that I have that was still alive, passed away. He was 100 years old. Would have been 101 on December the 26th.
Aww.
His name was Uncle Buck. Don't count him, but anyway.
I wasn't.
Talk to you later. Bye.
I'm glad you said it because I was going to be like, now I have to tell Gary that he's like, no, I'm sorry, Uncle Buck, awesome dude. But unless your 100-year-old uncle was named Henry Kissinger, then no.
Maybe. Oh my gosh, Daniel.
Do you think he called Uncle Henry Kissinger Buck?
I think maybe that was Henry Kissinger's nickname. They call him Uncle Buck. I mean, what a coincidence, Daniel. Gary's uncle died.
My grandchildren called me Buck.
He was, I don't know what Henry Kissinger, is that what he sounded like? I don't even know.
Of course, right? I am Henry Kissinger.
It's such a coincidence. His uncle was 100.
That was like the
Henry
shittest.
Kissinger was 100.
Like the shittest.
I've no clue. I've never met Henry Kissinger.
I feel like he sounds like a cross between what's his name? Really Big Shoe, Really Big Ed Sullivan. He kind of sounds like a cross between Ed Sullivan and Fred Gwynn. Let's see.
I thought you were trying to do a Sean Connery.
Sure.
that sounded like a more gruff, like older Sean Connery to me.
Let's see. This is what he sounds.
He's hard of hearing, blind in one eye, and has had multiple heart surgeries.
I work about 15 hours a day.
And incredibly, he remains relevant on a global scale. If you had one of your...
What the hell was...
That was him. That was him.
I mean, they couldn't even... How do you even understand that?
Henry Kissinger.
Was this interview when he was actually 100 years old? Was he already dead when they performed this interview? Because
I am Henry Kissinger.
Surely that was not his voice for his entire life. That must be like a super old man thing, right? That was a rough. That sounded like he was talking through one of those tracheotomy things. Have you seen that commercial? It was a long time ago, but they had this commercial.
Let me see if I can find a clip in here of him when he was younger. So this would be him when he was younger. Oh, I have to hit play.
Absolutely no sense.
This means that against almost any form of attack, we
totally
base
different.
our policy on a threat that will involve the destruction of all mankind.
I think I'm dead on. I think it's a cross between Ed Sullivan and Herman Munster, Fred Gwynn.
Yeah, maybe so.
Anyway, where were we at?
Is Fred Gwynn the one who was in Car 54?
Yes.
And then was he also, he was tall? Is it the tall?
Yeah, he's very tall. He's very tall. I mean, he wore platform shoes in the Munsters, but I think he was actually pretty tall himself.
Oh yeah, the Munsters. I forgot about that. Okay.
But he was also the judge in My Cousin Vinny. But anyway, now that we've covered Fred Gwynn's life.
Now that we've done 3 more segments, only after the first phone call.
Hey, Adam and Daniel, this is Gary.
Good God. Hi, Gary. Yeah.
And I hope y'all are going to be there this week. I just learned that Henry Kissinger, who was the Secretary of State or something like that for
Uncle Buck,
I think it was Nixon, has died. He was over 100 years old. And anyway, hope to hear y'all this week. And have a good day. Bye.
Well, we'll learn that Gary's Uncle Buck, was actually
Henry Kissinger. And not only that, but I think he may have killed Missy Witt. I don't know, but I mean, you know.
And his Uncle Buck was actually Henry Kissinger.
You know we still have contact. What are you doing?
I hit the wrong button. Let's go to our next phone call here, shall we?
Hi guys. RT Cruiser for the Celebrity Death Phone.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been a bit slack lately.
Yes.
But Henry Kissinger.
Yeah.
Nobel Peace Prize winner and former Secretary of State
Yeah.
for the USA, not Australia, because otherwise he wouldn't be eligible.
Mm-hmm.
Dead at 100.
Dead.
Okay, bye.
Dead at 100. Thank you, RT Cruiser. You know what? I've been watching Heartbreak High. Have you watched Heartbreak High, Adam? It's the young adult Australian high school drama on Netflix.
No, although we have been watching Gen V, which is Amazon Prime's The Boys, the college years. Yeah.
Well, have you gotten to the exploding penis yet?
Yes. Oh, my Lord. And when I see I don't know why I said, oh, my Lord, but when I see a penis, I want it to be a sexual, sexy thing. On The Boys, When you see a penis, you know
it's about to explode.
It's about to explode. That is it. And that is not something that you want to even look at as a man.
Anyway, I have a question for our Australian listeners. What does esche mean? Because they talk about this one kid. They're just like, oh, he's so esche, and I'm like, I have no idea what it means. So if you want to call in, let me know. Either RT Cruiser or Scotty, little Aussie battler. Anyway, let's go to our next phone call. I did something wrong. Let's go to our next phone call. Hello.
Hey, Adam and Daniel.
Hey.
This is Gary in Portland.
Yes.
And I'm looking forward to your little show tonight.
I mean, he kind of sounds like Henry Kissinger.
Well, you know.
Hopefully. And I've got one more death to report.
Yeah.
You always know that it's always said that there's always 3 deaths, and so we've had 3 political deaths. The last one is going to be Sandra Day O'Connor, the first female Supreme Court justice, had died at 93. Hope to see y'all guys tonight, and y'all have a good day. Bye.
You know, every time I hear Sandra Day O'Connor, I think Sinead O'Connor. And so I always think, the singer? And then I'm like, no, Day. It's Supreme Court Justice. That's
that bald chick from the 80s.
Yeah.
I would never ask a question in a chat room with a librarian because they will get you the answer. So I'm a librarian in the chat room, says the word esche apparently derives from Pig Latin for sesh, which is a cannabis term. Like, let's have a smoke sesh. And the term adlay, which is Pig Latin for lad, refers to the same subculture. They're considered stereotypically hypermasculine and inclined to crime and violence. Okay. Yeah, the esche dude was the one that sold him drugs. So
it's kind of like a redneck in the South, or, well, maybe not.
Oh, I thought of like a Boston, like a tough, like a street thug, like a
chav in Liverpool. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But
I've seen that in porn. I mean,
a chav
documentaries.
Yeah.
Let's go to our next phone call. Hello.
Hi, Mix Minus.
Oh my
Daniel,
God, that's so
Adam,
loud.
Scott from Northern California.
Yeah.
Hope you had a good time in sex camp, Daniel. So we have some deaths.
Sex camp. That's
Sandra
good.
Day O'Connor, Kissinger, and Rosalind Carter.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, you only?
Haven.
Yeah.
Look, Scott. I appreciate the call.
Yeah, but.
You are not getting 3 entries to the death phone for one call, sir.
Was it 3? I thought all he said was...
He said Rosalind, Henry, and Sandra Day O'Connor all in the same...
I didn't hear Sandra Day O'Connor.
Well, anyway, he's only getting 1 entry.
He's only getting 1? Okay.
So that's...
One entry. Yeah, let that be a lesson to you, Scott. You should always call back. Let's go to our next call, though. Hello.
Hi, guys. Scott again.
Hi, Scott.
I hope I said everything right on my last call. I'm on had an edible. First time I've had one in a long time. So it is so cold here at night.
Yeah.
Last week it got down to 26 degrees.
Yeah.
So cold. And we're not in the mountains. We're like right in between Sacramento and San Francisco. So it shouldn't get that cold, and a couple weeks ago, you guys probably won't remember because you got bad memories like I do too, but I guess I butt called you guys, and you heard my dog barking.
Yes.
I was yelling, Woody, stop,
yes.
or Woody.
Yes.
I'm glad you didn't hear what I usually say. I have to yell at them and curse at them. I have 2 Scottish Terriers. One's a puppy and one's 9 years old. And
you stupid bag of haggis. Yes.
All right, well.
Yeah.
I hope I said everything right. I hate calling the show. I hate my voice.
Why do you hate calling the show?
Oh, we love your calls.
Bye, guys.
I mean, Adam hates it when you call because he only gives you 1 point, but I was perfectly willing to give you all 3
You know what?
points.
You called twice. I'll give you 2.
Oh,
even though you didn't give a death in the second one, since you called
26.
twice.
I don't think I can fathom 26 degrees. Like, I don't think I have nothing. Like, when I lived up north, when I lived in Connecticut, yeah, I got to understand what 20s felt like. You know what I'm saying? But that was 8 years ago now. So it's like I've lived back in the South for 8 years, where I was born and raised in the South. It's like I don't think I could imagine what 20 degrees feels like. You know what I'm saying? Like if I walked outside, I wouldn't be able to go, it's in the 20s. It's in the 20s. Like I could guess pretty accurately that, oh yeah, it's in the 70s. Or it's like in the 80s. And it's like, or yeah, it's in the 90s. Like it's like I could accurately kind of guess those, but 20 degrees, I have no frame of reference for that. It's just cold. It's just fucking cold.
Yeah. No, I mean, I can fathom what it is because I live somewhere that does get that cold.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, it's similar to a hood rat, like Aladdin. You know, Aladdin was a hood
rat.
Those are it, Adam. Those are our phone calls.
One duh ahead of the bar. I don't know the words.
One duh ahead of the bar.
One step ahead of the one jump in front. I don't know. I don't know the words.
Do we do another segment before the new? Yeah, we do another segment before the. Anyway, all right. So there you go. That was this. Yeah, let's do this.
Look, Gary in the chat room is asking
over
me
the production element.
You do it.
Yeah, but this would be the part. This would be the part on Spotify where I'd put the ad break in.
And break.
We don't actually have to be quiet.
Yeah, I do. Gary,
we don't actually have to sit and like pretend like all right, now let's just be quiet for a minute while the commercial.
So I did this thing where now the computer that Discord is on for the live stream is on my Alienware computer, but
yes,
so I can still see it. You know, our monitor that you and I share has this picture-in-picture function. And so I have a little picture-in-picture of the other computer, but the mouse doesn't because it's a separate computer. So then I have to like switch my Bluetooth. So anyway, Gary, I can't type in the chat room very easily is what I'm saying. Yeah. Gary asked a question. I played a song on Geeky Gay today.
Yes.
He wanted to know what the day was and what the song was. I can't type in the chat room. Today is National Faux Fur Day.
Faux fur?
Which made me think of the white rapper who now I can't think of his name. His name is Macklemore, and he had that, and he in this video for this rap he was wearing a faux fur coat thing, and it's Thrift Shop is the name of There you go. Everybody look it up. It's good. I like it.
Great. I moved the things around there. So yeah, go ahead and tell us.
I wasn't looking at
yeah.
I
believe you were gonna let us know about Mark's car troubles and
this is quick. Super quick.
It's quick.
Although I thought I had one other thing.
You talked about Mariah Carey, COVID.
No, that's it.
Mariah Carey protesters, November. This
faux fur.
Yeah, that was from 5 minutes ago.
Artificial fur.
Anyway, this is what happens when you do a live show. You turn around, you look at the chat room, and there's a question, but you have no idea that it was asked like 3 minutes ago.
So anyway, all I want to say, you remember that we were that I don't know if we talked about it on The Mix, but since you're a daily listener to my award-winning podcast,
why do you always tip your head that way when you say The Mix? The Mix. It's like you always it's like a cocker spaniel like turning its head to look at you. It's just like The Mix.
I don't know. My face, my head doesn't do things.
Right.
But anyway, I think we may have talked about it, but Mark had been having car troubles and his car was in the shop for 3 weeks.
3 weeks for the turbo.
3 weeks for Daniel. They could make up the unicorn.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. So he finally gets it back. And we used his car to go on the 2 trips that we did because we had just gotten it back like the Saturday before or whatever. So on the way back from the Mariah Carey concert, at like 1 a.m,
mm-hmm.
or a little bit later than that because 1:30 maybe, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I can only describe this as his car would stutter. Like I can't describe it anything. I mean, I'm just driving along and it's like it stuttered. Or
I think the mechanical term that you would, if you were taking it in somewhere, as you said, that it is missing.
So yeah, it was missing.
Like it feels like it's stuttering, and they'll say, "Oh, you mean like it's missing?" Like and I guess that means like because there's 6 pistons in a V6 or whatever, like one of the pistons isn't firing, so it gives that kind of stutter because it's pausing where it shouldn't pause.
And I have never felt a feeling like that in my life, but that is the only word that would come to my head, and I Googled it, and actually it is a term that's used. But anyway, so he had just gotten it fixed. Just gotten it fixed. And it had been in the shop for 3 weeks. So I did some Googling, and there are many things that could be causing this. It's kind of like going to WebMD when you have symptoms, like you Google like a car thing and you get, it's got cancer. But it said it could be related to like fuel, because the turbo has something to do with like the spraying of the fuel and the what have you, and it said it could be related. It could also be spark plugs. There are other things it could be. So this
is like the worst episode of Click and Clack ever.
So in the morning we did make it home, but we were kind of scared. We're like, oh my God, what if we don't? I mean, I didn't sign up for AAA. They offered me this incredible deal to sign up for AAA. Yeah. I didn't. And then we're going to be stuck on the side of the road.
And don't you dare call me now. That's what they're saying. It's just like, if you called up and go like, yeah, remember a couple of weeks ago when you were offering me that really sweet deal? I'd like to take you up. And then it's like, no, Mr. Burns.
Now it's going to be 3 times the cost, plus we're not coming to get you. You're going to have to walk. Anyway, so he calls in the morning. I'm like, you need to call first thing in the morning and like take it back in.
Yeah.
He calls in the morning, and the guy is super, I don't care sounding. He just sounds like he could give a shit less about anybody's car.
Because you probably could give a shit less.
And so he's like, I remember you, because you're the one that wanted an update every day. Anyway, so we tell him, and we're laying in bed, and so, actually Mark had called. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I try to describe what it's doing, all that. And then he's like, okay, you can bring it in. And he's like, when do you want to bring it in? And we said like now. And he said, today?
Yeah.
It's like, no, I mean, we can't drive. Car has been in the shop for 3 weeks. You were supposed to fix it, and it seems like you fucked it up more with whatever you did. Anyway, it was in the shop for another 3 or 4 days, and they said they couldn't find anything wrong with it and just told him to come pick it up. And tonight, we're driving home from Wendy's, getting our food, and it starts stuttering.
Now, did they charge you?
No, they didn't charge, but and he said, now you need to drive it, to feel what's happening. And they said they drove it. But how? I mean, we just drove it like 10 miles from Wendy's to here and back, and it was stuttering.
Is it like sometimes it happens when it's going up a hill? Is it
sometimes it happens? Yeah.
No, but you're saying, is it more common when
it is? And we told him that as well. We said, make sure you're going up a hill.
So here's the thing. You are equipped on your person with a video recording device that records in very high definition. I would have, as soon as it started making that noise again, I would have started recording, with my video, with my phone. I would start recording. So I'm hearing the sound of what it's doing and also what's happening and pointing at the gauges and everything. And then immediately gone back to the damn dealership and gone like, look.
Well, I don't want him to go back to that particular dealership because I think they suck. The only thing is, what if that guy really did, because the stuttering could be related to a problem with the turbo as well. And what if he put some air in the line or something when he was, and then if we take it to a different dealership, they're going to want to charge us probably because they didn't do the prior work. So that's the only thing. But anyway, so I'm just pissed. We're irritated because now he has to take it in again because it started stuttering again tonight. And, oh well, it is what it is.
I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Trials and tribulations, Daniel. It's,
I mean, if you don't want us to visit, you can just say you don't want us to.
COVID,
you don't have to come up with these
troubles.
COVID. In our car, because Mittens is the only one that has a 4-seater. So yeah, have to go in his car, but his car is broken. So yeah, we'll just have to walk.
Better luck next time. Yeah.
We'll just have to walk. It's 26 degrees outside, but we'll just have to walk to get there. Jeez.
We're planning that. I'm putting in my order for what temperature I want it to be. I want it to be super cold, and I want us to have to stand outside to wait for our restaurant.
Right.
Those are the two things that I want to happen.
Never fails. That's I'm gonna tell you, Adam. It's the attention to detail like that I admire. News game. It's the news game. It's the news game. What questions will he ask? It is the Mix Minus News Game. This is a segment of the show where Adam will ask me 5 questions from the New York Times News Quiz, and I, using only my head, brain, and mouth words, will answer those questions. These are all multiple choice. I will try to answer them without knowing what the choices are, but I'm always free to ask for what the choices are. After I go through the 5 questions, that is, we'll do a little speed round where Adam will try to read me as many questions as he can off of a Trivial Pursuit card in 60 seconds. And for bonus points, I'll try to answer them. So, Adam, what is the first question on the old news quiz today?
So the first one is going to be, which 2024 presidential candidate did the conservative political network founded by the Koch brothers endorse this week?
That would be Miss Nikki Haley, Adam. That would be Miss Nikki Haley.
That is correct.
Trump was not a happy camper about that.
But isn't Trump like so far ahead that nothing's going to matter anyway?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A memorial service and funeral were held this week for Rosalind Carter, the former First Lady who died last month at 96.
96. Adam.
Which 3 are true of her?
Oh.
I hate these, but I already had started, so we're just
all
going
right.
to do it. Okay, as a First Lady, she pushed to improve mental health care.
That is true. That is absolutely true.
Okay. She and Jimmy Carter were married for 45 years before her death.
No, they were married for like 70 years. No.
Okay, she was a co-founder of the Carter Center, an aid group.
Yes, her and Jimmy.
She served as First Lady for 8 years.
No, Carter had 1 term.
And she died in Plains, Georgia, where she was also born.
That is, they are both from Plains, Georgia, yes.
Okay, just to go over what you've selected. As a First Lady, she pushed to improve mental health care. She was a co-founder of the Carter Center, an aid group, and she died in Plains, Georgia, where she was born.
Those are all true statements about Rosalind Carter.
That is correct. Okay, number 3. On November 17, the artificial intelligence company OpenAI fired its chief executive, Sam Altman.
They did.
On November 21, whom did it hire as its leader?
Sam Altman.
That is correct. Yeah.
Although it's funny because the condition to him coming back was basically to get rid of those board members. So.
Number 4, Pope Francis announced a plan to punish his most vocal critic.
I don't know if you just like try to slam it. I mean, give me a lead up to number 4, like number 4.
There you go. You did it. You did it.
Something fun.
This isn't You Don't Know Jack. This is the Mix News Quiz.
Yeah, where we like to mix, but we're gay.
Pope Francis announced a plan to punish his most vocal critic inside the Catholic Church.
Yes.
The conservative American Cardinal Raymond Burke, according to multiple
reports.
reports.
Him out.
What
He's
did
like,
Francis say he would do?
Girl, you ain't gonna call this home no more. You gonna get your skanky little conservative ass out of here.
So there's one that says excommunicate Burke. There's another one that says evict Burke from his Vatican apartment.
Yes, he's evicting him from his apartment. He's like, you get out of here.
That is
You ain't
correct.
gonna live here. Oh, hell no, you ain't gonna live down the hall from me. I don't know why the Pope suddenly sounds like a sassy black woman, but this is where we are.
Number 5.
Wait, it's the final question.
Paris Hilton.
Come on, do it. You know, I'm an old person at 56. I can't sing that high.
Number 5.
Much like Mariah Carey.
Yeah. We should have just dubbed you at a younger age. Paris Hilton recently welcomed a baby, her second child born via surrogacy.
Yes.
What is the baby's name? I can give you some choices if you would like.
I have no fucking clue.
Athens, London, Manila, Sydney, or Rio.
Oh my God, Kathy Marshall in the chat room said Birkin.
No, that's not one of the options, Kathy Marshall. Athens,
I have no idea.
London, Manila, Sydney, or Rio.
Sydney, the dog. Is it Sydney?
It is not Sydney. It was London. London, ladies and gentlemen. All right, that was 5.
Because her name is Paris.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so stupid.
I wonder if her other child is also named after like a city. A major city. Her first child could be Little Rock.
I have no idea, and more importantly, I don't care. Let's throw 60 seconds up on the big board.
The game begins in 3, 2, 1.
What's the easternmost Canadian province?
Easternmost?
Easternmost.
No idea.
Newfoundland. What 1961 movie has Audrey Hepburn note, personally, I think it's a bit tacky to wear diamonds before I'm 40?
Audrey Hepburn?
Yes. 1961 movie.
Tiffany's? Breakfast at Tiffany's?
That is correct.
Oh.
What congressional award was Dr. Mary Edwards Walker the first woman to receive?
Chlamydia?
Medal of Honor. What was the Frederick Serturner the first? What was Friedrich Serturner the first to extract from opium and use as pain reliever?
THC?
Morphine.
Oh, morphine. Oh,
you did get one.
Oh, I did get one. And that's all I needed because I had 4 right on the main quiz. So with that bonus point, that gives me a perfect score of 5, Adam.
Oh, you're not counting the bonus points for the extra 2 correct ones on the Rosalind Carter?
Oh, you were going to give me...
Well, that's what you normally claim.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
you're right.
why not?
You're right. In that case, Adam, I made like an 8 out of 5. That's...
No, it would be 7.
2023. I've never lost the news quiz, Adam. Bit my lip and it hurts.
We got another voicemail, but we're out of the contact segment. So caller, we will have to play that next year. We will play it next year.
Play it next year. Well, who's it from?
Scott in Northern California. That edible really kicked in. He just.
By the way, Scott from Northern California posted a picture of his 2 dogs, Woody and. Was it Woody and Robbie? Woody and Robbie.
It was Woody in London. Is what it was.
London. Yeah, London and Paris, and 2 little Scottish terriers. They're so adorable. They're very good. I couldn't say anything because I think at the time you were talking about some dead person or something. I don't know what it was, but it was like it would have been inappropriate to me to go, "Oh my God, they're so cute!" at that moment. So I Adam, for the very last time in 2023, let's do this. As you know, our executive producer, Cyclone, sends us an exhaustively researched compendium of knowledge every show. These are things that have happened on the day that we are recording of some other year. So these are all going to be things that happen on December 1st, but of some other year. You get the bit? You understand?
I think so.
Yeah, this is all from the Mix Minus Research Center Archives and Test Kitchen. Adam, happy National Cookie Cutter Day.
Oh, happy National Cookie Cutter. Yeah, I used to, my next door neighbor.
Yeah.
Every holiday, she used to make these sugar cookies that I would get to help her decorate them with the royal icing or whatever. I love that. And we used cookie cutters. We used all these different Christmas, and she had Halloween cookie cutters for Halloween.
What's the difference between royal icing and regular icing?
It's much more luxe. You know, it's I know there is a difference. I mean, royal icing is a thinner consistency.
Yeah.
It's
runnier.
It's runnier, and then it hardens into kind of a smooth shell kind of consistency, and regular icing does not. But I don't recall the recipe for royal icing off the top of my head. I think it's just
adding more water.
I think it's just powdered sugar. No, I think it's just powdered sugar and egg or something. I think it's like, anyway, doesn't matter. I could Google it, but I'm not gonna.
Not gonna?
Not
You're
gonna.
not gonna?
I'm not
You're not
gonna. But anyway, we
Not
used to
gonna.
use all kinds of cookie cutters, and I used to help decorate. So she's
Royal
the reason
icing
I'm
doesn't
gay.
have
I don't know if
fat.
I don't know if you knew that, but
Sugar.
my next door neighbor is the reason I'm gay.
Really? I did not know that.
Well, I mean,
Why?
because she baked cookies with me from a young age. So
And that makes you gay?
Maybe there is the hottest guy on the holiday baking show right now. So I mean, he's so hot.
It's also World AIDS Day. First recognized in 1988, World AIDS Day falls on December 1st each year. It's dedicated to spreading awareness of the AIDS pandemic spread by the spread of HIV infection. I think that can be simplified. And mourning those who have died of the disease. You know, it's one of those things, Adam, where
Yes.
I came in, I was a young gay when a lot of older gays were dying off. Because I came out, you know, as a young twink in the mid 80s, which was the AIDS epidemic was just nationally known and, you know, scary as hell. But the point is, by that point in time, a lot of the generation before me had died. And so we kind of grew up, you know, without those elders. You know what I'm saying? Like we didn't have a lot of elders. And I worry now that I am an elder that I'm not being elderly enough for.
I mean, I think
gays.
you're being elderly enough.
Get off my lawn.
You're plenty elderly.
I see what you're saying, but do you get what I'm saying, Adam? It's like I do. I don't have anyone to model myself off of who I should be as an older gay. I don't have
just be you.
Who's my role model?
Just be you
as an older gay.
Just fix everyone's audio. Be you. It's
me.
It's
going to be. You know what? The average male starts losing his hearing at age 30. Just fractionally every year from age 30 forward, you're going to. It's like, so you guys are going to be thanking me for that good audio in another, 5-6 years.
In another 15, 20 years, we're doing this podcast still. You're going to sound like Henry Kissinger. You're like,
I am Henry Kissinger.
Hey, you know what? In 1715 in the United Kingdom, an Oxford University student notes in his diary that sodomy is very common there. It is dangerous sending a young man who is beautiful to Oxford.
I need to go back in time to 1715.
He thought so highly of himself. He was referring to himself as a beautiful man.
Yeah.
That's confidence.
You don't think someone who's hot knows they're hot.
Yeah, but writing it down is like, I don't know. It's just not good form. It's not good form.
By the way, the new Doctor Who.
Yeah.
So fucking hot.
No, I don't know the new Doctor Who.
Well, he hasn't arrived yet. He'll arrive at the end of December in the Christmas special.
In 1976, in Florida, Willard Allen was released from a mental hospital 26 years after he was ordered by a judge to be held there for having sex with another man. His doctors had been recommending his release for almost 20 years.
Wow. Wonder how old he was. He'd been in the hospital for 26 years.
He had been for 20 years. 26, yeah, right.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And that was 19. So that means he would have gone in 26 years. So yeah, 1950. So he'd been in a mental hospital since 1950.
In more perky news, Daniel, in 1955, at Disneyland, the Maxwell House Coffee House opened on Main Street.
Yeah.
There you go.
Love my coffee. What is this? The Future Corps, a group of musicians who play high-energy instrumental music in the drum and bugle corps style, first perform at Epcot. This will be the start of an almost 18-year run as a full-time Atmosphere group. Why does it say music for Taffy Carlisle Huffington?
Taffy loves drum corps, and I want to say she was either in drum corps or she was an actual... So
they were called.
That worked for
they
drum
were called.
corps.
I got it. I understand now that it's the headline. I didn't catch that the group's name was the Future Corps.
Yeah, it's drum corps style music. Bugle corps style
how
music.
Like Taylor the Latte Boy is named after a song?
No, I didn't know that, but
I
sure.
thought maybe there was a group like a rhythm group at Epcot called Taffy Carlisle Huffington, and that's where she got her name from.
Oh. No, I don't know.
But no,
she loves drum corps and used to work for or like teach or whatever at one.
Anything else you want to?
No, not from there.
Here? Presidential election goes to the House of Representatives in 1824. That was that highly contested election between whoever was running in 1824.
Man, whoever was running, that was.
It was JQ. It was John Quincy and Andrew Jackson.
My good bud JQA?
Adam, I am related to John Adams and John Quincy Adams. I actually have John Quincy Adams' quilt box here in my bedroom. It's like the one that he had in the White House. I'm actually, my grandmother was very DAR. She was very, very proud of her,
Wait, you've got John Quincy Adams' actual like baby blanket or something? What?
No, quilt box.
His quilt box.
It's a box. It's a box made out of like
that
cedar
he owned.
Yes.
Shouldn't that be in a museum or something? Shouldn't that be in like the Smithsonian or?
And yet it sits in my bedroom.
I mean, come on.
It's not in good shape, and it's not. I mean, he had many quilt boxes. This isn't like. I'm saying that the museum has a quilt box. Quilt boxes are not like ornate things. They're just boxes. They're not ornate or anything.
I get it.
The
cats
cool thing
are
about
peeing on it.
The only cool thing about our quilt box is that it was built in the 1800s. It was built in 1800s or so. So it's like that's it. It's an antique quilt box, but it came from the Quincy side of the family, the Adamses.
Well, there you go.
Anyway, there you go. December 1st, 1862, Abraham Lincoln delivered the State of the Union address.
Yep. Bette Midler was born in Hawaii in 1945 of this year. By the time she appeared as the final guest of Johnny Carson's 30-year career on The Tonight Show and brought tears to the unflappable host's eyes with an emotional performance of One for My Baby.
I watched that. Like, I'm old enough to have actually seen Johnny Carson's last show when it aired. I mean, I remember that. It was a very poignant moment.
I remember it, but I don't know if I watched it. I mean, I remember it happening,
When I was a kid, when I was, in my teens, actually, 13, 14, I hated going to bed at night. And the way our house that I grew up in was set up is that my room was right next to my parents' room. And if I opened the door between my room and my parents' room and stepped right inside their bedroom, I would get a clear shot at the television in the Florida room, like in another room. And that was what I would do. They would put me to bed, and then I would get up and stand there and watch Johnny Carson every night. And so I grew up as a kid watching Johnny Carson. So yeah, it was very touching when she did his last show and she sang.
Yep.
Anyway, anything else you want to talk about?
So Antarctica made a military-free continent in 1959. I found that interesting, but I don't want to read anything about it. And the Channel made a breakthrough. The Channel between England and...
As if there was another channel?
Not Florida. France.
Yeah, Florida. Between England and Florida. It pops up
England
right outside of
France.
Disney.
I think it's France. It's that tunnel.
Right outside of Disney here in Florida. It's like you get it right from England to Florida.
It broke through shortly after 11 a.m. on December 1st in 1990.
The best news on the planet, Adam. That's from the Weekly World News. This is from the December 1st, 19 edition. Where is it on this page? What?
It doesn't say. It's
okay.
No. It's 19. Oh, I can't see.
You can zoom in.
1995.
Okay,
1995, I think.
Slim and trim Hillary has a secret new boyfriend.
1998. Sorry.
A crash diet turning the first lady into a beauty.
There you go. That's not they photoshopped that. But Hillary's problem has never been her body. Not that I've ever seen Hillary's body, but her problem has never been her body. It's her face.
Yeah.
Her body, she was a slender, regal looking woman or whatever, but her face.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about her secret new boyfriend, Gary Hankins?
Yeah, I don't know him. She never brought him to the barbecues at my uncle's house.
But here's how you can look like the new Hillary. Here's a typical fat-busting menu for Mrs. Clinton. Breakfast, 1/2 of a bagel with low-fat cream cheese, 1 grapefruit, 1 glass of skim milk, 1 serving of tuna for lunch, 1 serving of tuna salad, and 1 slice of toast.
Oh, you get a can of diet soda.
This sounds like the Weight Watchers diet from 1995, basically. And dinner, 1 small serving of grilled fish, 1 large serving of grilled vegetables.
This will piss off Joe Batance so much. If this were the Weight Watchers menu or whatever, it would have a dozen eggs.
Yeah, that's the new Weight Watchers.
With each meal, you get a dozen hard-boiled eggs.
Let's see. I don't. 1995 wasn't a great year. No, wait, I have to do this. I have to I have to fade this down. I didn't think this through very well. I have to fade that down, and then, and only then, can I hit this button and say, Adam, a lot of people had their birthday on December 1st. We'd like to say happy birthday to some of them now. Happy birthday, Robert Irwin.
Robert Irwin.
You're going to look at it now. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it.
Good eye,
She's
mate.
pissed. She's pissed. She's very pissed. You can tell.
He's the son of Steve Irwin, by the way, the animal guy.
Happy birthday, Charles Michael Davis. You've turned 39. Did we say, by the way, that Robert Irwin turned 20?
20.
Happy birthday, Nestor Carbonell. No, he was from Lost. It was like Richard from Lost.
Suddenly Susan.
Yeah. Nobody remembers that. Happy birthday, Oba Baba Tunde. Is that right? Did I get it right?
Yeah.
Did he? Is that him? It looks like Lionel Richie. Are you telling me that's him?
I mean, it looks like a stock photo. It's got like a watermark on it or whatever. Yeah. But I don't know.
Charlene Tilton turned 65. Auntie Scott's got a really funny story about her. Let's see. Anybody else?
Sarah Silverman, 53.
Okay.
Candace Bushnell, 65.
No idea who that is. Zoe
Bette
Kravitz
Midler, 78.
Zoe Kravitz turned 35. And Janelle Monáe turned 38.
Is she from a different world?
I think so.
Is she the one that's married to Aquaman?
You mean to Jason Momoa?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe. Anyway, happy birthday from all of us here to all of you there.
Oh, it's Lisa Bonet who's married to Aquaman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Janelle Monáe, isn't she like a Real Housewife thing? Isn't she one of those reality construct kind of things? Oh, a singer. She's a singer. Of that very famous song that she sang, Adam. That song that we love so much. That song, we love it so much. She's here tonight to sing it. It's the wickedly talented Adele Nazim. Anyway, Adam, I wanted to, you watch Survivor and I watch Survivor.
Indeed I do.
And I'm assuming that you saw this week's episode of Survivor.
Yes, I'm trying to remember what happened, but yes, I did see it.
This is not a spoiler about who went home.
Okay, but I do remember. I was so happy. But anyway, go ahead.
This has to do with the reward challenge that they had on Survivor. Now, the reward challenge, when you're down to the merge tribe, is usually the rewards are usually pretty good, right? Here's a steak dinner from Outback Steakhouse and all the beer you can drink or you're going to have a personal chef that's going to make you a fish dinner and you're going to get a massage or whatever. At this level, these rewards are usually pretty good.
Yeah. And you get the letter from your family, which folks.
Yeah. Yeah.
These people cry. I wouldn't cry. I don't care if Daniel wrote me a letter, if Mark wrote me a letter, if my mom wrote me a letter. I am not going to be crying. I tell every time we watch that, Mark and I watch that, I turn to him and I say, Boyfie, I just want you to know, if you write me a letter when I'm on Survivor,
not going to cry.
I'm not going to cry. I don't want you to get sad.
Not going to cry.
They are only apart for like 20 days. They act like they haven't seen each other in 10 years. Anyway, keep going.
So, that I have, toyed with the idea of trying out for Survivor before.
That's why you're doing all this running. And next you're going to be like trying to hold your breath underwater and like, go ahead.
Already working on that part.
Yeah,
but,
okay.
Anyway, so I always, when I watch Survivor, I always have kind of in the back of my mind, like, what would I do if I were there? I'm like how would I play it if I were here? Like who's the real threat? Like I feel like the person that went home this week was the wrong choice because I would so want to sit next to him at the end because there's no fucking way that he's winning this game. It's just like, I would love to sit next to him at the end. It's like at the moment that he's identified as a buffoon that everyone hates, it's like, dude, I need you sitting next to me. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, in the back of my head, I'm thinking to myself, I've got myself in that spot. I'm watching the TV and Jeff is telling him what this reward is going to be. And I'm sitting there going, all right, I've been out in this island for 19 days. I haven't had shit to eat. I'm starving. Anything would sound good. And he goes, it's going to be turkey.
I know.
And I'm like, no, mashed potatoes. I'm like, what?
Oh, I love mashed potatoes, but yes, I know what you're.
Nothing with flavor? Is there anything with flavor back there? And he's just like, what was it? Oh, sangria. And I'm like, the shittiest wine that's ever made. It's like,
well, I think they must have been going for a Thanksgiving theme because they were airing this close to Thanksgiving.
It's the only time that I thought to myself what I would do if I won that challenge is I would give it to someone else. I would be like, you know what?
No, you wouldn't. You would be so hungry that you would eat anything. I mean, any kind of food that he could be like,
but where's the food? I just named you what was there. Where's the food? I said
turkey is food.
That's not food.
It is
mashed
food.
Potatoes.
Mashed potato. I love mashed potatoes. I do love mashed potatoes. That's like one of my favorite foods. If I had to list my 5 favorite foods,
didn't even have like rolls or anything. They did say apple pie. Like I could eat the apple pie.
I'm not a big apple pie person, but man, some mashed potatoes.
Love apple pie.
Yeah, I thought they were going for a Thanksgiving theme, but yeah, I thought that was strange too. I'm like,
I just
turkey?
Like, it's like the shittiest reward ever on Survivor. So you don't think
we have an arugula salad, quinoa, tofu?
Let me just say this, Adam. We're going to be off for the rest of the year, so we're going to be back in the new year, and not even the first week in January because that's my race. So we're not going to be back probably until So it'll be probably 4 or 5 weeks off.
Well into the new year, you guys.
But if you are jonesing for some more content, if you want to hear Adam and I for some whatever reason, because you miss us or because you think we're fun to listen to, whatever, it doesn't matter, and you're not yet a member of Level 13, join Level 13. It's absolutely free. That is our behind the scenes fan club that we have here. It's absolutely free. All you have to do is send us an email, contact@mixminuspodcast.com and say, I'd like to join Level 13, and we will set you up with your own RSS feed. That is where you hear our after shows. You hear some extra content that we put in occasionally. You get access to our Level 13 Discord, where you can chat and you can see a lovely picture of Adam's house and his Christmas tree. And
as a member of the fan club, Daniel, you not only will receive autographed signed copies of our headshots. You will have personal interaction with Daniel and I in the lovely Level 13 chat room.
That's right.
So, and many other amongst many other badges. Oh, you do have to wear a badge. We send you a badge. You have to wear it when you're listening to the mix. It's
There's no badge.
Proud mix listener.
You know what? When the Adventurers Club at Disney used to have that, they would have these little badges if you went into the Adventurers Club, if you were like a return person. And that's the news. If you were the
it would have been smooth. It would have been really smooth if you just
it always shocks me. It always shocks me. Always shocks me. By the way, Big Fatty's theme song is the theme to Super Password. I found that finally.
Oh, okay.
I found that finally. You know what? In the after show, I'm going to play you the worst version of Big Fatty's theme song you've ever heard in your life.
Okay.
So remind me when we get into that. Anyway, I feel like the ending music just always scares me because of that first note right there. It's really hard to miss it. See? It just kind of sneaks in right there.
It is there.
It's like a cat meowing off in the distance. You're like, wait, was that a cat? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, we record this show on most Friday nights during the year. Right,
except for the next
48.
4 or 5, how many ever it is.
4 or 5, yeah. But that's all right. Take a little break, get a little breather.
I want the listeners to know I told Daniel I was available on December 22nd. He is not. So
I don't know if I am or not. Maybe I am. Maybe we'll do a surprise show. But if you want to hear more content, always, you can subscribe to Level 13. You can always give us a phone call. Our phone number is 707-61-DEATH. You can also go to voicemail.mixminuspodcast.com and record your message there. Okay. I'm going to see you in a week, maybe.
One can hope, if I don't die.
If you don't die, hope you don't. That would suck.
Or if we're quarantined and we have one of those nets over our house, they have to fumigate us.
Oh, can I have your popcorn machine?
This show is part of the Pride 48 Network. Find all the best shows under the rainbow at pride48.com.